Hi, welcome to Bobby Cinema. This is my 32nd week live on my webcast on July 11th, 2009. We're going to do some new movies and DVDs out this week. Don't forget to log into my website. The first movie out this week is Bruno, starring Sacha Baron Cohen. This movie is directed by Larry Charles, produced by Jay Roach, and produced by Universal Pictures and Media Rights Capital. I took to this film. I recommend people watch this movie in theaters. Sacha Baron Cohen made an extraordinary performance in this movie, and my hat's off to him. For this movie, a B-. The next movie out this week is I Love You, Beth Cooper, starring Hayden Panettiere. This movie is directed and produced by Chris Columbus, and produced by 1492 Pictures and Fox Atomic. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie in theaters. Hayden Panettiere made an extraordinary performance in this movie. My hat's off to her. I rate this movie a B-. The next movie out this week is Blood, The Last Vampire, starring Gianna Jun. This movie is directed by Chris Nahan, produced by Ronnie Yu, and produced by Sony Pictures, AMSEC, Acme Entertainment, and East Wing Holdings. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie in theaters. Gianna Jun made an extraordinary performance in this movie. My hat's off to her. Rate this movie a B. The next movie out this week is Hump Day, starring Mark Duplass. This movie is written, directed, and produced by Lynn Shelton, produced by Magnolia Pictures. I took this film. I recommend people watching this movie in theaters. Mark Duplass made an extraordinary performance in this movie. My hat's off to him. Rate this movie a B. That's all the movies out in theaters this week. The first movie out on DVD this week is Knowing, starring Nicolas Cage. This movie is written and directed by Alex Proyas, produced by Todd Black, despite Summon Entertainment. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie in theaters. Nicolas Cage made an extraordinary performance in this movie. My hat's off to him. I rate this movie a B+. The next movie out this week is Push, starring Chris Evans and Dakota Fanning. This movie is directed by Paul McGugan and produced by Bruce Davey and produced by Summon Entertainment. I took this film and I don't recommend people watch this movie in theaters. They should get better actors and better writers for this film. I rate this movie a D. The next movie out this week is The Unborn, starring Odette Yesman. This movie is directed by David S. Goyer, produced by Michael Bay and Rogue Pictures. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie in theaters. Odette Yesman made an extraordinary performance in this movie. My hat's off to her. I grade this movie a B. The next movie out this week is Night Train, starring Danny Glover, Steve Zahn, and Lily Sobieski. This movie is written and directed by Brian King, produced by Chris Eberts, and produced by Film Tiger. I took this film. I don't recommend people watch this movie on DVD. They should get better writers and better actors for this film, and mostly better producers for this movie. I grade this movie a D. That's all the movies out this week. Come back next week. We're going to do the new movies and DVDs out this week. Don't forget to log into my website where you can watch the movie trailers, play my movie trivia, and my puzzle. This is BC. See you next week. Now get out.